to have that trust to send their child to lodges. Trust those that are managing your child, that they represent you very well. Thank you once again, and thank you, parents and guardians, for taking his appeal on the face value. I believe moving forward, we trust lodges management moving forward. We want to recognize the presence of one of the board members, Dr. Mrs. Benedine Omonakwe. I hope she's still on. And one of the PTA executive, Mr. Amuku. You are all welcome. And other parents and the guardians that joined us. Now, having heard from our principal, next, I wouldn't know whether the chairman of the Board of Governors, Lagos International Secondary School, in the person of Dr. Edwin Onyabo, is online. If he's not on yet, we go straight to the keynote presentation that borders on the question we have already mentioned, that what we're addressing this evening is to identify, or to explore, or to at least look at what the parents' role are in their children's choice of career path. And to do justice to that is no other person than one of us, an educationist, a counselor, accredited counselor, and a registered counselor. That's guidance and counselor. In the person of Mrs. Virginia Chilekeze. She is also one of the vice principals. She's in particular vice principal academics, Lagos International Secondary School. Madam, the platform is yours. You have only 15 minutes. Please help us to keep to time. I can see you online. Unmute yourself. You have the platform.
Unmute yourself, please.
Unmute yourself. You are still muted.
Unmute yourself. You are still muted.
Oh, fine. So you can.
Is it okay now?
You can. Yeah,
Is
it's
it okay
fine.
now?
Please, can you?
Okay.
It's fine. Remove your video to reduce the glitch.
That one, I'm finding it difficult to remove it.
Okay, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, good evening, the chairman of the governors and other members of the board present, our amiable principal, and our beloved parents. I welcome you all to this all-important meeting this evening. Thank God so much for how He has helped us through the first half of the term. By the grace of God, we have successfully concluded the first half, and our children are now on midterm break. I hope you are enjoying your stay with them. Thank God so much for that. This evening, I am given the privilege to discuss on this all-important topic, the role of parents in the career choice or career path of their children, because we know that this issue is very, very important in the lives of our children. And we know that parents have a very key role to play in the decision-making and general career path of their children. As a guidance counselor in the school, for some years now in this office, we have encountered so many challenges from our students. Our parents, most of the times, will insist on the careers they want their career paths they want their children to throw, and it has been affecting us. And also it is negatively affecting our results. In so many incidents, so many parents have even have to come to the school even to insist that their children choose a particular career or subjects according to their own choice as parents, not even the choice of their children. I can remember a particular incident about 2 years ago. This particular girl, very intelligent, she wanted to read law. Even when I taught that girl in JS1, I saw that aptitude in her. But when she came to SS1, we carried out our diagnostic test, which we normally do at the beginning of SS1 to help the children choose the subjects that will suit their careers. This child chose to do the arts because she wanted to read law. When the father came to know about that, he traveled all the way from Port Harcourt to our school, insisting that the girl must do science. The man is a medical doctor, the wife a lawyer. According to him, he said the wife said none of the children will throw her paths of career. They insisted. This girl wept and wept and wept, but they insisted that she must go to the sciences. The man, in his words, insisted that if the girl should go to the arts, he will withdraw her from the school. So this is just one of the example of things we've been encountering in this place. Most of the students that are not doing well in the sciences recently, when you approach them, you know that it was the insistence of their parents that led to their doing the science subjects, and which many of them are struggling with. So today, we want to look at our roles as parents. How do we help our children? How do we help them? Should we continue this part of insisting that they do our bidding? They choose the subjects according to our own interest, not their own interest. Should we continue this way, knowing that it has not helped us? So how do we help our children? What are the things that we are supposed to do as parents? Number one, I feel every parent should have a strong and mature relationship with the children. There should be a mature parental or parent-child relationship. If you have that kind of relationship with your children or with your child, you will be able to interact freely with the child, and the child can open up to you. He can express, or she can express himself or herself freely to you. But if you are the type that your children or your child is afraid of, they can't express themselves, they will not be able to open up, and you know their interests, and you know their values. You can't know this if you are the type that the children cannot approach. They can now sit down with you, even as they come back from midterm break now, even to discuss freely with you, tell you about the things they are interested in doing, and you watch them to discover the areas of their interest. So there should be that mature and mature parent-child relationship between you and your child. You should set a good example for them. That's number two. Set a good example socially, personally, and professionally for your child. Set a good example. Maybe in your own profession, how do you do your work? And what do you say about other people and their careers? You talk down on them, you discourage their children about them. Such things will affect them. For you, a good parent should set example. Let them understand that every career has its own importance. They are needed in life. Give them free chance to explore and make their choice. Number three is the expectations you set for your child's education and career life. What's your expectations from your child? Many of us may not be caring. They just come to school and go back like that. We don't care. Anywhere they end up, it is just their choice. They should make that choice by themselves. Yes, we should allow them to make their choice, but they should be guided. We are there to guide them. What is your expectations concerning them? That will help them in career choice. And that will also help to build their own expectation, not necessarily that they must do your own part, but build themselves. And then you give them the opportunities. You provide opportunities for them to learn and develop themselves. As they are back now, you give them opportunity to explore. Many of us have access to the internet in our homes. Help them to explore different careers. I read about a woman that talked about her child. Her daughter, she has that interest in watching a particular program in the television, and the program talks about marine work. And as the girl watches the series of this program, she developed interest in marine biology. The mother helped her to research and discover the things that are required in marine biology. At the end of the day, though she was interested at the beginning, but she discovered that she couldn't continue. She was afraid of the sea, though she can swim, as it was said, but she can't walk in the sea. Because of that, she dropped that career and continued exploring. She was exposed to other things. And at the end, she discovered that her interest was particularly on civil engineering, and she followed it and is doing well today. So let's help our children to explore, expose them to things that will help them explore different careers so that they can make adequate decisions. So we urge them, but we don't dictate for them. We don't make decisions for them. Like I said in the story of that woman, she helped the daughter to explore. We are to help them to explore different areas, different careers. Look at what is involved. The difference between the aptitude required and the attitude. You may have interest in a particular career. I love medicine. I want to be a medical doctor because you have seen, maybe you have gone to the hospital, you have seen their courage, you have seen how they work on patients and all that, you developed interest. But is the aptitude there? Can you have the patience? Can you stand the sight of blood? If an accident victim is brought to you, will you be able to stand? Can you walk in such environments without being carried away by emotions? So these are the things we will consider. Your child says, I'm interested in this, I'm interested. Okay, let's research about it. Let's search more about that such career, and then find out what are the things that are involved. At the end of the day, allow the child to take decision, make the decision by himself or herself. We should support them in their career choice. We should not try to influence them. They must do that. That is what I want you to be. I am a medical doctor, and you must be a medical doctor, so that when I am no more, you take up my hospital. That is very, very good. If the child also have the aptitude for that, if the child can do that. But if the natural endowment is not there for him to be or her to be a medical doctor, you are just deceiving the child. At the end of the day, the child will not be fulfilled. At the end of the day, the child feels he was cheated. There was a teacher we had here some time ago. He was teaching the children physics. A very vibrant young man, very intelligent. He came, he said that when he finished secondary school, the father insisted that he will read either computer sciences or medicine, something like that. He told us he went to school, read that particular course, either computer engineering, but his interest was in physics. He wanted to read physics. But the father said no. He said he read it. At the end of the day, he took the certificate to the father. Daddy, look at what you asked me to go to school and read for you. Look at the certificate, and dropped it for the father and went back to school, and then continued with that career of his choice. You see the number of years the young man wasted. But if he had started that time, he showed the father where his interest was and had continued there, you know that he wouldn't have wasted such time. Today, he's doing great, traveling from country to country, just by that particular course he read. And he's fulfilled. He's happy. So as parents, let's help our children. Let's help our children. We are there to support them. We are there to guide them and not to make the choice for them. We give them freedom to discover their skills, to discover their abilities in them, their natural endowments, and help them to develop them, provide motivations to develop and achieve. That is what our roles as parents, provide the motivation that is needed to develop and achieve. Also provide encouragement to pursue that interest and ambition they have, whether it's in the arts, whether it's in the sciences. Help the child. Help the child. Don't impose your choice on them. It has not helped us. It has not helped us in this place. So many times why the children are not doing well academically is because of the influence of their parents over them. They will come and tell you, many of them, even right now, even in this present SS3, somebody has to jump, go from science to arts at SS3 because she has been struggling. In SS1, she chose to go to the arts, but the parents insisted, want you to be a nurse, want you to be a medical doctor, but the aptitude was not there. Even the intelligence is not even there. The girl has been struggling. But if she had been allowed to go to that area of her interest and where she has the aptitude and ability, she will excel. So that is what we are saying this night. Let's provide encouragement. Let's help them. Let's try to instill responsibility, attitude, and mature outlook in them. Let's try to help them believe in themselves, have a positive outlook, help them to believe that they can do it. That thing that they have told you, this is what I know I can do. It may not look great, it may not be what is trending, it may not be what the society wants today, but tomorrow it may be what will help us. So let's help our children. Let's help our children as parents. Our words to them matter a lot. It influences them either positively or negatively. So let's help our children in their educational choice. In the school they attend, thank God for many of us that have made the choice of choosing Lagos International Secondary School. Help them in the choice of subjects, to decide on the university to attend. Some of them in SS3, now they will be preparing for their JAMB next year. Let's help them in the choice of the course to reach. Many of them will come to us, look at what my interest is, but look at what my father, what my mother is insisting on. So many of them will even choose some courses that they just had their names, very, very sweet. They don't even know what is involved. Sometimes you will come and research, and then at the end of the day, they find out it was just the name of the course they had that they loved. They don't know what was involved. So as they are at home with us now, as we interact with them, let's try to help them find out what their interest is, or what their interest is, and help them to research, explore, and help them develop it. That is my submission. Thank you very much. I hope I am on.
Yeah, thank you very, very much, Mommy. Wonderfully well.
Thank you very
That's
much. It wouldn't have been better than what you have done. Thank you, Mrs. Virginia Chinekezi,
Thank you very much,
for
sir.
that insight, for that excellent presentation. And my take home is that the role of parents, as we are, I'm one of the parents, is to develop strong parent-child relationships, set good example for them, and they have a good and positive expectation, and in so doing, identifying and developing what their interests or their career path interest, especially in their course, matching that with matching their interest with capacity. Thank you very much once again. In course of the presentation, the chairman of the board of governors, Lagos International Secondary School, just joined us, and it's no other person than Dr. Edwin Onyabo. Though we have already, we're waiting for him before we ask the keynote speaker to speak to us. And those of us that are raising our hands, let me share the screen again. We have time, you will respond, and we will soon get to that point. But for now, we will allow chairman of the board of governors to just speak to us, and I appeal to our chairman. Maybe you have 10 minutes. If you make it less than 10 minutes, that'll be fine, but maximum 10 minutes is welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, moderator. Am I audible?
Chairman, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have the floor.
God bless you. Thank you very much, Dr. Nelson. And thank you.
Hello, sir. Chairman,
yes. Can you hear my voice, please?
We can.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I hear you, Doc.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator Dr. Nelson. Thank you, VP Akkad, for that wonderful presentation. And thank you, everybody in the meeting, the principal, our dear parents, and lodges, alumni that are here, and everybody. Thank you for being in this wonderful meeting. I've just looked at the attendance, and I'm worried why our parents wouldn't want to join such a meeting. But we wouldn't have to worry so much. We just have to do the much we can do. But I would still want to say, let us rise and build. Let us rise and build together, build the future of our children. In the Bible, the book of God, in Nehemiah chapter 2, from verse 17 to 18, the children of Israel, the first batch of them or so, had just returned to the devastated motherland, to Jerusalem, where they had been taken away from captivity. And they were in a serious stress, economic stress, and security threats. But they encouraged themselves. They said, let us rise up and build. And that is what I want to tell our dear parents. Let us rise up and join hands and build the future of our children. Like the moderator said, I'm also a parent. Yes, I'm the chairman of the board, but I'm also a parent. My child is here. My child just graduated. Another one is here. So let us join hands and build the future of our children. We are in a period of serious, a tough and a rough period. And a tough period because economically things are very tough. And as it is tough to individual parents, so it is tough to the school and tough to the workers. At the beginning of this term, we bought a bag of rice for about 70 something thousand naira. I learned that now a bag of rice is 100,000, 110,000. At the beginning of the term, diesel was, yes, I think it was about 1,300 or 1,200. Now it is on 1,250. And so is petrol, so vegetable oil, palm oil, vegetables, and all the things that we use in our families, which are also the things we use in the school. So we are in economic stress. We are also in a very rough time, socially speaking, morally speaking, in a very rough time. So, but the school and the parents are partners. Right now, the children are at home to just rest for 1 week and they return again to be in the school. And the workers in the school, the teachers, the hostel masters and mistresses, and every one of us here will begin to manage these children and to work with them. So I am emphasizing the fact that parents and the school ought to work together to build the future of our children. The good of the school is the good of the children and the good of the families, the parents. The good of the children is also the good of the school and the good of the staff. There is every reason why we must work together to make the school more comfortable for our children, make the school friendly for our children, make the school a place of positive experiences. Parents have a lot to contribute, just like we workers here have a lot to contribute. It is painful when sometimes on the platform you see our parents using very, very bad words against the school, against the management of the school, and it appears as though we are enemies that are quarreling. I can't imagine somebody taking his precious daughter or son and handing over to his enemies to care for him. So we are not enemies. We are friends. We are working together to achieve the same purpose, which is to instill academic excellence and godliness in our children. So I want to appeal, as I have always appealed, to our parents, that we are partners, we are building together, we are a family, we are in this business of helping our children become better and secure a solid future. We are in that business together. So I want to say, in this area of career choice, like the presenter have said, let me add that within the short time I've been here, I interact with the children on daily basis. Some children are passing through a lot of frustration because their parents force them to take to sciences when they are not cut out for that. Or some children are made to take to arts when they are not cut out for that. So I want to join the counselor to appeal to our parents to not to foist a career on our children, not to force them to do sciences or do art, but to allow them to guide them so that they will choose the path that God who made them have designed them for, so that they will excel both now and in future. On this note, I want to appreciate everyone for coming. And I want to thank you, moderator. I think we can go ahead as we go into the discussions. If I have more contributions to make, I can make. Thank you very much, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, our chairman, our able chair.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman. Our chairman just brought a second strand of the appeal that our principal has already made. Our dear parents and guys, for bringing your children to Lagos International Secondary School. Our principal has appealed that you should trust the management. And our chairman has said, let's join hands together and build the future of these children. Your own lot is to observe them, watch them, know their interests, guide them, don't force them. Take that word, guide them, but don't force them into any choice of career path. Thank you once again, Mr. Chairman. On this note, I saw many hands up, but I have to recognize, because the Bible saying, mouth of two witnesses, a matter will be established. We have some special guests that were especially, special to us as other parents and management that are in this meeting are. But we want to recognize them and give them opportunity to make one comment or the other. And I said these people are special to us, management and parents and guardians that are in this meeting this evening. Reason being that they have passed through this process. And we are referring to some ex-logi students who are here in our midst this evening. I can see Esopa Hansen Henry. Hansen Henry at Federal College of Education, Technical, Omok in River State. But before I give him platform, because I can see his hand up, I want to also recognize, I know that Charles was there. I wouldn't know whether he's still there. I'm talking about Mr. Charles, thank God. Also, an ex-logi student who incidentally was a senior prefect in his own time. And we would be happy to hear from him how he overcame a serious setback due to wrong choice of career path during his own time when he was through secondary to university education. And also Mr. Ben Raymond, also an ex-Logi student who is the pioneer president of Logisa. What is Logisa? Logisa is Logos Alumni Association. I will start with Mr. Hansen Henry. Hansen Henry, please, you have the floor. We have just maybe 3 minutes to talk to us, or maximum 5 minutes, please. You have the floor. Other people that their hands are up, I recognize you, but let's hear from these 3 ex-Logi students. Maybe they will tell us one thing or the other that will also guide us as parents. Thank you very much. Hansen, can you hear me? If you can hear me,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my chairman, board of governor, Logos International Secondary School.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome, sir.
And every other international college. So
It seems Henry is having
I
some.
am an insider.
I wouldn't know if others are here.
So
You loud and clear.
I can't hear
quite
Dr.
hear
Nelson.
on my end.
I overheard
I can't hear him very well.
I heard the.
I can't hear.
Hello.
Okay, he's talking now.
Are you hearing me? Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah, you can go on, please.
Hello.
You need to change your location.
Hello.
Move a little so that you can get a better network.
Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we hear you now. But it
Are
looks
you
to
hearing
me.
me?
Yeah, we hear. I hear
Are
you.
you now? Hello.
I hear you.
I hear
Yeah, I
you.
Are
hear
you
you
hearing
now.
me now?
Yeah, Henry. We
Okay.
hardly hear you.
Yeah, that's what I just did now. Yes, I just moved now to get
Go
a
on now.
better.
Go on. But you can change your.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, let me start again. Yeah, I am Eswa Hansen Henry. Yes, I've changed my location. I am a Super Hansen Henry Federal College of Education Technical has been introduced by the moderator. I want to appeal to our parents that please, I know there are a lot of things your children might be telling you about the college, about the school, the institution. Yes, some might be.
Network has cut him off.
Yeah, yes.
Moderator Henry has left.
It's out of network. Dr. Nelson is out of network.
Okay, I wouldn't know if Charles, thank God. I saw him at the beginning. It seems he is off. Um,
Yes, I am around and I'm
Charles,
here,
thank
sir.
God, is still
Charles is
there.
around.
Charles,
Charles is
I can
here.
see you. Please, can you take over the floor while we wait for Henry? Yeah, Charles, you have the floor, please. God bless you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chairman of the Board of Lodges Governors. Thank you for the privilege to be here. Thank you. I can cite some of my seniors, obviously, from the introduction. I know that these ones were there before me. I can see parents. Parents were the engines that drove, the funding of the students that graduated from lodges. And I respect everyone that I can see this evening. I want to say thank you for the privilege of letting me to be in this place. All right, to make it a quick one, because I'm mindful of the time I was given. Yes, I was in Logis and I was a bright student in the sciences, and by God's grace, I was also a good student, and I served in the capacity of the chapel prefect. From there, I moved and I was promoted. I served as a senior prefect and handed over without any glitch. But then eventually, when I got into the university, I came to understand that I had made a terrible mistake in choosing my career path, because back then in Logis, I was just in the sciences and I had my reasons. I had seen parents criticize and persecute, I will use the word persecute, my classmates back then because they chose arts. In fact, arts is usually the hit of the whole stuff because sciences is generally accepted. Even in Nigeria education system, we believe that it is more lucrative than arts. So one of the reasons why I decided back then to choose sciences was that I felt that this will be something that when you speak out that I'm studying this in science or did that in science, that people will kind of look at you as a serious human being. So I did that. But then I had known back then that art was engraved right deep within me, and that every talent that I naturally exhibited revolved around art. In fact, back then I can remember I was into the music, I was a good saxophonist in lodges. I trained some people who are performing very well right now. I was a good artist back then. I was doing the arts assignment of art students and they were scoring fine. I had gifted lodges. In fact, when I was graduated, I know I did the portrait of the two board of governors back then, and it was nice. Although it was unprofessional, but it was nice. As a science student, these are the things I could give arts. And then I can remember right now, even when I was graduating, I also made a gift, crafted something, long live Logis vision, and it was still an artwork, and I gifted it to Logis. Logis still holds that legacy for me and all that. But then graduating from Logis, I still retained the sciences, and it kind of told negatively on me. When I got into the higher institution, I started feeling a discontentment that I needed to pay attention to. I knew that it was because I had made a wrong choice in my career path. I had to pray, I had to do a lot of thinking and retrospection and just to review my life. And it came to a point and I saw that I had made a mistake in my career path. I had to share it with my parents and I withdrew from school. That was in the year 2021 after my 200 level in computer science, and I switched into as I had to move to Lagos after a time of waiting personally. I had to move to Lagos to do a vocational studies to enhance my fashion design skill. And then from there, I upgraded, went into fashion photography. And from there, God has been faithful till now. Everything that I do now is all revolved and evolving around arts. And I feel fulfilled. And ever since I started that journey, I started seeing the spirit of excellence play in me. I started seeing visions as to what I can achieve, visions that has to do with purpose, and I've been grateful to God for that. So in a nutshell, I want to say that a lot has happened in my journey as a creative, and I know that it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that fear that art is not lucrative enough to sponsor me in life. But now all I am doing, and I have been doing it in an excellent way because it kind of aligns with my passion and with my talent and with my natural inclination as a human being, arts, and I've been doing them excellently. I've never experienced an unsatisfied client. I've been exploring the world of photography, digital arts, creating of NFTs, retouching for other photographers. I work for people in Nigeria, I work for people out of Nigeria. In Europe, I work for people there, and I have never experienced an unsatisfied client for once. Everybody wants to kind of hold me to make sure that I don't leave them. And it has been an experience for me. So I am just giving up my voice this evening. My time is up to encourage us and to encourage our parents to encourage their children not to even reflect that fear that there is nothing, that the world of art is not lucrative. I can stand to tell you that just in photography is just a tiny fraction of art, which is what I am practicing. For the past 6 months, just in photography, I have not had any reason to fear any bee that comes around me in this Lagos, just in photography. And funny enough, I've not handled a camera like for the past 6 months in this Lagos. Only when I move out of Lagos, I handle some projects. I come back that I handle camera. But in Lagos, what I do is retouching for professional photographers only, and that alone has kind of sustained me financially. Just photography, a fraction of it. And there is fashion photography, there is beauty photography, there is photography that we charge millions to execute. And this is very lucrative, but most of our parents will not know. So, what I am trying to say in a nutshell is that we should understand that the struggle between, what costs to study sometimes is because the economic um, situation of the country requires that we do something that will ensure our employability in the market. I want us to understand that there is nothing to fear. If your child is showing interest in art, allow the child and encourage a child to explore the world of art. And if your child is showing interest in sciences, allow your child to explore the world of sciences. At the end of the day, that child will do it excellently because this is something that is flowing from within. And that excellence will position the child in a way that the child will never go hungry in this life, because excellence is for me the key thing to making someone valuable. And once someone is valuable, once someone has value, the person can never lack money, the person can never lack fund, because the value will always have a way of bringing funds to the person. So let me end it up here because of time. I've even exceeded the time I was given, but thank you everyone. I want to encourage us to encourage our kids and to not persecute them to pursue their dreams, science or arts. Thank you very much. I really appreciate.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Charles. Thank God for that counsel given to us parents. Dear parents, this is one of the invaluable contributions that you cannot pick along the road. So please, as we hear, let's make up our mind to put them at work. Bible said that happy is he when we do what we hear. Now, I wouldn't know whether Mr. Ben Raymond, I don't think I have cited him online, but then if
I'm here.
is he on now?
Yes, I'm very much on.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, I still appeal to our parents, those that just joined us. Joseph Precious, Light Nwachi, please, can you not only mute your mic are muted, but can you also mute your video? We wouldn't want anybody to be to have his or her camera on. It disrupts the network flow. Light Nwachi, please, can you help us to do that? On this note, I go back to Mr. Ben Raymond. He is an ex-student of Logis, as we said. and he is currently or the pioneer president of Logisa, Lagos Alumni Association. Presido, please, you have the floor. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to appreciate everyone here, not forgetting the board chairman. My greetings, sir. The parents, I so much appreciate each and every one of us. Those of us that deem it fit to bring our children to the school. I was the ex-Logis alumni president, the pioneer president. And I started when Logis started. What I mean is when Logis was Logic in, that is Lagos International College. That was in 1994 when the school started. Before we moved to this permanent site at Logis now. I think to cut it short, I want the parents to understand something. In the life of every child, the life of every Logis student, those present and those out there, some of us out there, I came to understand some certain things as an presently. Why we were in Logis then? Yes, due to some factors, to science to art. That was because then, at a time, there was no guiding counselor in the school before the school brought one. Now start putting some of us into shapes. Because, you know, then, if I'm to use the word, that some parents doesn't even care about the area or the line their children are following. But thank God for now taking this as a serious matter. If your child or your ward decide to follow any field, I think that is in university. I studied economics, I studied banking and finance. And today, I'm in the oil field. Yes, do engineering, but I am in the oil field. Because any area you enter, you must see your field there. If your child decide to do any course at all, please give that child all the necessary support. The way the world is going now, no field is less to another. Because if the hand will tell the body that I don't need you, then where would the hand fix? The body need the eyes to move. The body need the legs to move. The body need the ear. What am I saying in essence? Every area is vital. There is no area that is less significant. Every area is very much vital. The way Logis is going presently, because some weeks ago I was with the principal and we spoke extensively with some other of my ex students. We, the ex students, we know that somehow we have been lacking, but we want to promise the parents that God helping us, we will step our foot back just as we were some years back. Because some years back, we were in the school encouraging the students, We were in the school as ex-student and we came doing our programs, our alumni events. Incentives that were in whatsoever course you are doing, no course is bigger, no course is lesser. So please, I want to plead on every parent today, because very soon my own children will be joining Logis equally. And I want to plead with the parents presently that their children are there. Please try and help to keep the school going, because if no parents brings their child in the school, that means when my children will grow up to the extent of joining JS1, I will not have a school to take my children to. But please, I am pleading today that as you keep your children there, my children will see people to call their senior. I don't want to labor much. I don't want to talk much, because I know many persons, some persons are here and they would like to air their own point, please. But let me leave us with this word. There is no better place to be than where you have academic excellence and godliness of your child. I grew up in one of the, should I use the word bad city, and to be precise. And coming to Logis was way suit, but because of what I got from Logis, believe you me, anywhere I am today, tomorrow, or what have you, everybody sees that this person is coming from a place that was good, a place that is good, a place that you can reckon with. So please help us to keep this my alma mater, and God will bless you. Thank you very much, sir.
Help us to keep this my alma mater. Our ex-presido, thank you very much for that clear, concise piece of advice. And I can assure you, I'm one of the parents, as I said, my child is there. By God's grace, their children will come to Logis to meet those. And I'm sure that parents and guardians that are here are making the same promise. I think the take home that our Mr. Raymond left us with is there is no place than place where your child will receive not only academic excellence, but godly upbringing. And again, no area of study is more important than the other. Any field you enter, you find your own area. The same thing all is saying, give support to your children, don't force them against their interest. Only what you want to find out, that area of interest, does that child has capacity that support that matches it. Thank you very much once again. I think if network could not allow Mr. Henry, then we go to the audience. Audience, please, we would have you, maybe first of all, we need responses, either from the principal's address, the keynote speaker's address, or chairman's address, or these ex-Logis students that have given us some piece of advice. Please, the floor is now open. Whosoever that wants to speak, yet the netiquette is you raise your hand. You can see the sign of raising hand on the bar or at the base of your devices. You see a sign of hand raised up. You click on it, I will see it from this end. And the first person that has put up his hand is Mr. Michael Ekeduru Dikogo. Incidentally, Mr. Dikogo is one of the vice principals in Lagos International Secondary School, our mama. After that, I will give floor for Mr. Clifford Adiele, who is also one of the vice principals in Logis. Mr. Kedru, you have the floor. 3 minutes, please, maximum. God bless you.
Good afternoon, the chairman of the board of governors and the management, the principal and the vice principals, and our distinguished parents. Or good evening, rather. Please, it is an honor to be a part of this meeting, and I want to make this humble and insightful suggestion here. I want to take a clue from what the professional guidance counselor has said. In the words of Edmund Book, it says, all men are made on the side of their natural propensity. You do your best when you do those things you have the natural facilities for. Take, for instance, I have discovered I'm also a victim of this subject in fiction. I went through school in life and I was a science student. I was fairly doing well until I graduated. And when I sought for admission and I couldn't gain admission, it was as I came out to the wider world and had interaction, especially with a lawyer and a lawyer friend of our family who told me, you were better go to the social sciences. And that's where my journey started into whom I am today. And I feel fulfilled because what you have those natural abilities, the aptitude to do. So what I'm saying to our distinguished experience is this. Just like what the guidance counselor has said, we don't have to be autocratic when it comes to telling our children what and what course to read professional career to choose. But let's be subjective. And your suggestion will only be very useful if you have a proper analysis of your child. And of course, if you don't have, and I don't think you may have better than the school system that have anecdotal records, that have academic records.
Mr. Keduru, we can't hear you again. And if we have lost connection, I will give the floor to Mr. Henry to complete his speech before I come back to Mr. Dozier Obi. So, Mr. Dozier Obi, please, you hang on a bit. Mr. Mike.
Please, the people that have their videos on should be mindful. We have the questions from those who have their videos on. Please, Mr. Moderator, tell them to put off their video, or you can mute them.
All right, sir. Let me get across to them.
I think the word has gone out
Mr.
of
Michael,
that stage of you must be this, you must be
Michael, your network. Sorry, Mr. Michael, we can't get. It's not flowing again.
Today we have a very.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe before we go back to Henry, let's listen to Mr. Dozier Obi. Henry, you wouldn't mind, please? Let's listen to one of the parents, then we come back to you as ex-Logi student. Mr. Dozier Obi, please, you have the floor. I suppose you are one of the parents or guardian. Please, you have the floor. Hello, sir. Dozier Obi. Okay, while we are still calling on the Zobi, let's go back to Henry. As Henry is giving his piece of advice as an ex-logy student, we want to remind us that this program is Management Parents Conference or deliberation or whatsoever you call it. So the input of parents is very, very strategic, is very, very important to us, the management of Lagos International Secondary School. Remember, you are a critical stakeholder in Logi's ecosystem, because if you don't bring your children, there won't be students there. And of course, we are co-partners in forming them, because they spend greater part with us in the school and also chunk part of the time with you. Please, parents, we want to hear from you. As we go back to Mr. Hansen Henry, believing that maybe before his remarks, Mr. Deziobi would be ready to talk to us. Henry, please, you have the floor. Being heard? Can anyone confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you very clearly.
Okay, there's another hand. Oh, Felix Kelechi. Oh, thank you very much. Felix Kelechi, please, you have the floor. Can you go ahead and make your remarks? Okay.
Hello?
Henry, you are back. Please make it snappy.
Hello?
Yeah, make it snappy if you can hear me. Very snappy.
Hello? Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Felix, hold on. I had earlier called you, but another person has the floor. Can you hold on a bit while we're listening to Henry Hansen? Thank you very much. Henry,
yeah,
go
good
ahead,
evening,
please.
everyone. Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Good evening, the chairman, board. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hansen, go ahead.
Yes, sir, we can hear you. We can hear you, Hansen.
Hansen, go on.
It seems he's still having some challenges. You can hang on, Mr. Esoba, while we go back to Felix Kelechi. Mr. Felix, please, can you take the floor? Thank you.
Okay,
you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, parents and all the staff of this institution. I'm Okoro Felix Kelechi, a parent. Please, I've heard all the things that have been said, but in terms of the conditions of the students, the way they are being handled, the environment and the academics, even the challenges, I'm expecting to hear some incompetencies and some challenges peculiar to their academic structures. All that I'm hearing is rigmarole around decision making for the children. That is correct anyway. But are we aware that bullying is still hanging around the school premises? The seniors are still bullying their junior ones. I don't know why, especially those in JS1. I think the management should look into that proper. And also the time in which they are being fed, their time of feeding. I don't know what used to delay it. Because some of these children, I think they should be given their food at the right time. But these are little challenges. And then the environment too, the mosquito, they're not being allowed to use their mosquito nets. Whereas all the places are porous for mosquito bites and all whatnot. I think these things should be looked into by the management and see a proper way of handling them. And some of the staff, especially the porters or the hostel masters, those that receives our course during the weekends. Some of them, the way they handle it, I shouldn't call for. Some are not all that human to respond. Sometimes you will call several days. There was a time I called from Friday to weekend. I was not given the privilege to talk to my son. I don't know why. So I think these are the little challenges around the students precisely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Those comments you made, Mr. Felix Kelechi. Please, I still want to advise, as part of the netiquette, please let's choose our words while we are addressing others in the public, using such words like ballooning. I don't think it is too friendly. But all your concerns are noted: the issue of bullying, the timing, the time of eating, the environment, and mosquito and welfare officers and calls. I think those will be responded to. But let's listen to some other.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, let's listen to other parents. Ugochukwu Njoko, please, you have the floor. 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, the board of directors of Logis. My name is Ugochi Njoko, and I'm a parent.
Ugochi, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir. I've listened to all that have been said so far, and I can say thank you so much because it has been quite insightful, and I've learned a lot too. But I still want to, as a parent, just bring it to the notice of the management too about the bullying aspect. My son came home. In fact, his own bullying was majorly in the dining. SS1, he is an SS1. Most times, his mates, although I have tried to talk to him, his mates deprive him of food. Perhaps he comes into the dining hall out of bullying and being a new student. He just joined this SS1. They ask him to leave the dining hall, and he's a type that he does not like to fight over things. And of course, I made him to understand that fighting is also is not allowed in the school, and so he should not fight. Rather, he should report any case of that is beyond what he can handle. So please, I'm asking that if there is a way, there will be kind of either the hostel custodians or maybe the kitchen officers, if they can look into the sharing of the food, I'll really appreciate, because it's not fair that maybe on a table that should be for 10 people, maybe about 5 persons are taking a larger quantity than the others, and there's no fairness on the distribution of food. So please, that's like what I would like the school management to look into, and please, because it's very, very important, considering that they are not allowed to go with provisions or any other things. So starving a child to avoid maybe developing other health challenges as a result of burden. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Ugochi Njoko. Sorry for misspelling your name in the first instance, and we thank you for your contributions, and also appreciate you for appreciating the management of Lagos International Secondary School. Your concern is noted on the issue of bullying and the unfair distribution of food. As I said, the management, they are here, they will respond to those concerns. Let's have more. And let's also, good enough, you noted that you benefited from the career path counseling and the conversations we have been having. So now may we go to, sorry, Hansen, we'll come back to you, but please, you pardon us, we take few from parents, then we come back to you. You are also a parent by proxy, because you are an ex-student, you are also, I believe you are a father, I swear. And very soon your own child will join us. Now let's go to Dozier Obi. He has been hanging on. Dozier, if you can hear me, can you talk now. You have 3 minutes, and this meeting is due to end at 7:50. It's at 7:50, but maybe I will plead with chairman if we have more concerns. We end the meeting by what? We're supposed to end by 8:50. So
8:50.
yeah, thank you. We have about 20 minutes left. So Doziobi, if you are still there, can you have the floor? If you are not there, Desmond, can you take the floor? Desmond Eleziofo. Mr. Desmond.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, Dozier, thank you for responding. So Desmond, hang on. Let's listen to Dozier Obi.
Okay. Good evening, everyone present, the board of directors, every parents. Good evening. Actually, I've been listening to everything that has been said here. Sorry, when you were calling before, I was on call. I just have a little observation that I want to complain about. Is basically on the children. Like most of them, when you approach them, they kind of feel a kind of insecure, as in you feel they are not confident. I just observed it like my son. I find out that most times he has this kind of fear. Is it that the school don't give them the opportunity to maybe a kind of competition among themselves or interact, maybe a kind of a debate, because that thing will actually help them to remove this fear in them, as in they are a kind of they feel insecure. That's one of the basic thing I observed from my son. He's in XS1, you understand, but the siblings in other school are not like that. So I was like, maybe they don't do a kind of a social gathering whereby one person sit up and talk to other person or bring out a topic. I think there should be such a thing in the school. This will help these children. It will remove a kind of this out of confidence in them, lose of confidence in them. It will build their ability to wherever they find themselves, they'll be able to interact with any person. Please just look into that. Then another thing is that the areas of neatness, especially their toilet, because my son, the last time he came back, I observed that he was having a this toilet infection. I was really scared about that. I have to treat him that. So they should please look into their toilets, how it's being cleaned. You understand, please? That is the two areas I really want to talk about. Please, the lack of confidence in them, that one should really be looking to, because why I brought him there was because of my sister kids that went there. That was a 2000 and something set. When you see them, they are very, very confident. If you see them, you are happy to send your child to lodges. So that was why I sent him there, especially because he is my first son. So please, they should just look into that lack of confidence in them. Thank you very much. That's just all I have to contribute.
Thank you, Dozier Obi, for that contribution. Is quite a good one, but it seems you joined a bit late when principal was making his presentation. Pardon, who is speaking over me? He mentioned that all those debate club and all that have been set in motion. However, you know, we have children differences. Moreover, we would want you, maybe at the end of this conversation, you give us the details of your child, so as we have a professional guidance and counselor, so as if your child needs private counseling, that will be done. But that their concern have been taken note of, lack of boldness or self-confidence, and the issue of hygiene and toilet in the toilet area. The school management will react to your concerns. Yeah, then we go back to, please, can you permit me now? We go back to Mr. Hansen Henry.
Thank you very much.
Henry Hansen, please make it brief. You may leave the protocols, or protocol is already observed. Just hit the nail on the head. Just 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
evening, everyone. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yes, I am very happy to be in the midst of every one of us. In the area of career choice, I will advise our parents. Are you hearing me? Hello?
We are with
Yes,
you.
we can hear
Loud and
you.
clear. Go ahead. We are hearing
Yes.
you. Loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. I will advise
Yes, we
every
can
parent.
hear you, sir. Go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm advising every parent to please and please try to know and observe your child when it comes to career choice. Be friendly with, if you're friendly with your child will open up to you. Your child, if you observe your child, you will know the kind of course your child will, and if your child is telling you this is the course I want to study, please, and I'm begging, allow that child to do that course he or she wants to do, because he or she will do that course with passion because he loves that course. But if you force your child to do a course that because you want to answer, maybe you want one of your child to be a doctor or engineer, then you might end up not even achieving that, because some children these days, they might get to the university, and then if they're schooling far, they can change the course and do another course. You are not there, but they will just come back with another result for you, and you have ended up wasting your money, and you'll be heartbroken. So for you to be happy and your child achieving his desired goal and objective in life, allow the child to choose his choice of career. Then secondly, I overheard I don't want to debate, I don't want to talk much on the issue of career. I want to talk now. I overheard some parents talking about a child not being bold. I'm so happy. I heard the principal said there are some of these clubs are being raised up again. When we were in lodges, we go to competitions inside the school and outside the school. We go to debate, we go to different quiz competition, and I tell you, lodges was always beating every school in Imo State down. So I will advise the parents that are listening to me, lodges will be great again. The way the management and this school board, the present board, is coming up with some ideas we have discussed with them. I tell you the truth, your child will not remain the same the way you saw him maybe the last dispensation. And then secondly, finally, I want to plead with every parent, give us time. We, the ex-logi students, we have decided to voluntarily come into the school system and suggest and help in the way we can to make lodges great again. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very many times for not only giving piece of advice, but also vouch to support lodges. Parents, you have heard him. My own two sons finished from lodges. One is still there. They are bold enough. So that's why I told our parent that made that comment, it might be issue of your child. As much as the school is making effort, to carry everybody along, we would need the particulars of that child at the end so as it could be further helped. Thank you very much. Desmond, are you still, I think you hang your hand down, but if you are still there, you have the floor. Go ahead. You have been there. Doziobi, you can hang your hand down. After Desmond, we go to Oba Dennis. After Oba Dennis, Victor Ekot. Please, let's go on. I think we may need maximum 3 minutes. If you can spend 2 minutes, that's better. Go ahead, sir. Yes, we can hear you, but it's very faint. Can you speak up? Very faint. If you are using a headphone, can you remove it and speak directly? We can hear you, but it's faint. It might be issue of network. Can you change your position while we're listening to Oba Dennis? We can hardly hear you, please. Change position. Let's try it again. Oba Dennis, can you take the floor?
Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. I just, first of all, thank God for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Secondly, I want to talk about an observation I made in terms of hygiene. I discovered my son in GSS1 is looking sick. Was this sore in his nose, and then he also reported about rats biting them in their hostel. He showed me where rat bit him, and then that most of the boys were bit by rat. That there are rats in the hostel. So I want to appeal to the management to look into that also, what the causes. And I also asked him the treatment he gave to him. He said he gave him tablets that if your own is not much, you'll not be given injection. You know, taking care of his own treatment right away. Is secondly, I was trying to find out about.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, for keeping to time. Okay.
Okay, find out about their feeding. If they had fruits, was telling me it's once a week that they are given that. So happy to the management to look at that also. I think those are the two things. And thirdly, they talked about being 30 in the class. I don't know if it's ideal. I understand the maximum required should be 24. How the students are going to cope, and the teacher in terms of student management. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Yeah, the management will respond to that, especially the principal. But the little mathematics I know is that when something is more than half, you approximate. So 25 approximate to 30, I think it's not too bad. However, I'm not speaking for the school management, just on a lighter note. So we've taken note of what you said, the issue of hygiene and the rat in the hostel and the eating. Maybe they call it not balanced diet now, but there's another new name they call it. I've forgotten. I'm not a food nutritionist. I'm not a nutritionist. So we've taken note. So we go to Victor Eckert. Please, our time is not really on our side. Victor, if you can make it in 2 minutes, that'd be fine. I hope management is also taking note. So as some of these issues like hygiene, 2-3 persons have spoken on that. Issue of bullying, 2-3 parents have spoken on that. Issue of maybe distribution of food and the eating fruit, they correlate. So as you know how to address them and collectively. Thank you very much. Victor Eckert, you have the floor, please. Victor Eckert, your hand is up. You have the floor. Okay, if you are not responding and we would want to go exhaust parents before we have 2 other persons that seems to be staff here. Dozier, if let's try your end again if it can work now. Dozier. Okay. Yeah, while we maybe before Mr. Clifford and the Chikwado, we talk. I don't know whether they want to respond or make comments. Let's quickly have them, maybe a minute each. Mr. Clifford, Adiele, just a minute, your comments. Then after you, Chikwado, and then the principal or whosoever will now respond. Please, a minute, Chikwado, Clifford. Mr. Clifford. Okay, if you are still having issues, let's have Chikwado.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my daddy Edwin, Dr. Nelson, sir. I appreciate what you are doing tonight. We say God bless you. And to our amiable parents, we say God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much for thanking us.
Okay. Quickly, I want to know that I'm holding brief for the management. But little I know, firstly, I want to make an observation before I react a little to one or two comments. I wouldn't know because I'm raising my hand from the onset. From my end here, I'm trying to see if the meeting is being recorded. So for future references and all of that, because I can't see my own button recording the meeting. I've been trying to react to that.
Chikwado, I would want you to limit yourself to your comments. You allow the principal to respond to issues raised.
So like the second or the last speaker that made mention about rats beating the children, the hostels, and all of that. I'm not holding brief for the parent, but little as I knew concerning rights, and all of that affecting the children. You know that oftentimes the last management, the principal, the former principal, and all of that has been sounding out of warning to the students from taking snacks, biscuits, and some of these things that attract rats in the hostel. And oftentimes, the students, when they make purchases from the tuck shop, they take to the hostel some of these things that attract rats in the hostels. And one of them, when they take the, they're being warned, but some of them will always take some of those things to the hostels, and before you know it, those things will attract rats in the hostels and all of that. So on our own side, we are going to intensify action to ensure that no students take snacks or biscuits, some of those items to the hostels and all of that. On the issue of the that's a little I want to react on to that, but the hygiene and all of that, all those things by God's grace, when the management will respond, they will also respond adequately in those areas. I have something to say, but let me know what would be for them. But on the little I know, there are things that attract rats in the hostels and all of that. I think these are the major things that bring rats to the hostels that made students to be beaten by those rats. Thank you very much. Let me hold it for now.
Mr. Chikwado, let's go back to Victor Ekot. Adele, I know you are still there if your mic is fine now. Victor Ekot, please, your contribution. Make it snappy, please, because our time is really... Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Good evening. No. Please, my name is
Good evening.
Mrs. Victor Ekot. Thank you.
Okay.
Please, I'm one of the pioneer students of Logos by the grace of God.
Lovely to have you. Lovely to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My son is currently in SS1 in Logos. He just entered newly. And I heard some parents complaining about bullying and about mosquito and rats. I remember when we were there, monthly there was periodical fumigation of the environment, which helps in curbing mosquito bites and other things. I don't know if it is also carried out currently. Then the issue of bullying. I remember when we were there, we have this periodical gathering where students are allowed to report cases of what? Bullying from maybe senior students. And that helped in minimizing cases of bullying when we are there. So I don't know currently if such gatherings are held. Then some of my concerns, 2 areas of my concern is this. One, the area of uniform. I discovered that there's delay in issuing uniforms to new students. And also the area of calls. The boarding parents don't pick calls. You call and call and call, and there's always delay. Sometimes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they won't pick calls. And you'll be wondering, how do I communicate? How do I talk with my kid? And so on. So I want the management to address that. Thank you.
Thank you. Our able ambassador. And of course, it's because Logis treated you well. That's why you brought your child.
Yes,
We've
sir.
noted
Yes,
your suggestions, periodic fumigation, and periodic public conversation on the issue of bullying within and among the students, and also the challenge of delay in responding to calls or reaching out to your child. Thank you very much. Charles, your hand is up again. Please, can you make it snappy? After that, if Adiele can talk, then we go to the management. And this, we are just exact on our time. So the management will take the rest of the minutes, but we must close this meeting by 9 p.m. Extra 10 minutes. I hope Chairman permits that. Charles, you have the floor. Please make it snappy.
All right, thank you very much. Please, I apologize for coming up again. I just felt a bit concerned because I know that parents might be too concerned about their kids and they might think that it is only on the school as a responsibility for them to take care of the kids. But please, I want to cite out to parents. Please, parents, always try to educate your kids before they get back to school that it is also their responsibility to take care of themselves. In fact, that is why they are in a boarding school to learn this. Back then, when we were in school, especially from JSS1, JSS2, we start seeing that there are some things that we need to ensure that we do by ourselves. Okay, so back then we would be dirty JSS1, JSS2, JSS3. When you are passing in their midst, you will see that these ones are not doing well but by way of hygiene. But then when they keep growing SS2, SS3, they start becoming better because while learning from themselves, they learn from they see the other students that are neat and they kind of learn. And then during inspections, they punish them, those that are very dirty, and they learn from that. So please, I want to say that we should always inform and educate our kids that they should take the full responsibility, not a very good responsibility of taking care of themselves, hygiene wise, taking care of bathing, washing their clothes, and then even these bullying. Back then when we were in school, if another student reports to the patron that a senior bullied you, the patron will punish the senior and then punish you for not reporting. So this whole issue of maybe food, what they call back then, they called it tearing of bar and cheating. You should also let your student, the child know that no, it is also your responsibility to say this portion you've dished out to me is not fair. And if you don't equalize it, I will report you. Students are afraid of being reported. And then when they do that, they should not feel guilty to report. They report and that is the right thing will be done when it comes to, and all these things has kind of summed up to making us independent. Anywhere we are, we can survive without supervision and all that, because while growing in lodges we kind of understood that it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves too. So parents, we can as well teach our kids to take care of themselves and to see it as a responsibility to report if they feel any case of bullying or any of such. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that first-hand piece of advice to parents like us. We should teach our children that it is their responsibility to take care of themselves, their personal hygiene, and any case of bullying to report to the appropriate authority. Thank you very much. Mr. Dele, can you talk after you? No other hands, but please, Adele, a minute. After that, management will respond and we conclude. Just a minute. Let it not exceed a minute so as he can take 5 minutes to respond. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I quite appreciate all present in the house, my chairman, Dr. Nelson, my amiable parents, the principal. I appreciate all of you. And I want to join the guardian counselor in her presentation. She made a wonderful presentation in the choice of career for our children. I want to tell a story that happened in my place. There was this man that wanted his son to become a reverend father. And the young man did all the training to become a reverend father. But it was not his choice. He told us. Immediately, after the death of his father, he removed the sultan and got married. I want to say emphatically that it is always better that parents and children should decide on the career choice they would pursue. The career choice their children should pursue. Parents can provide guidelines and the guidance and the experience because they have more insight into the potential benefits and the challenges of different fields of life and the study. And for that, they will be in a better position to guide their children. They should be in advisory capacity, not forcing the children to do the course of their choice, because some parents want their children to become medical doctors so that they will have the title of the father of a medical doctor. So parents should not choose a career for their children just to please
Thank you very
themselves.
much.
They should allow the child
Yes.
to put himself or herself first into that career that gives him joy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
very
the time
much,
given
Mr.
to me.
Adiele, for that piece of advice. The career path choice should be parent, that's a child-parent business. While the child makes the choice, the parent is on advisory role. On this note, I am giving the floor to the management, and I want the principal to respond, or the board chairman of the board, who is also on ground, either of them or both. But we must close this meeting in the next 4 minutes. Please, the floor is open.
Good evening. It's been a wonderful evening. I wish to respond. I know that maybe my chairman may have something to say, but briefly, I want to respond to some of the issues that already have been raised. I will start with the feeding. I want to tell you that Logis, without fear of contradiction, possesses one of the best feeding system in any school. And our children are well fed. They are given snacks. They are given banana. They are given fruits. They are given granuts. They have balanced meals, healthy meals. As for sometimes some of these meals coming late, of course, you know that sometimes we have circumstances beyond control. For instance, we have had cases when, in fact, we have had up to 3 cases of our sumo failing, and we needed to quickly rally around to get water in order to cook. So sometimes when such incidents happen, we may not have control over the time, but we still struggle to make sure that they feed and without much delay. So we have, even in the homes, some of our mommies will testify that sometimes you wouldn't know that the gas will finish. And when it does, you need to do something in order to recover the situation. So that is about that. Those are very minimal cases. The case of bullying, it's very, very unfortunate that some of our parents do not have information of the things we do. The board chairman who is there, who is in this meeting, opens his door wide open to always attend to the students. Beyond what he should be doing, he goes on to do that. And they come in droves to report their matters. I have my doors as a principal wide open. I don't restrict students from reaching me. They report whatever issues. But you know, some of these new students, a little touch on their head, they say somebody bullied me. Sometimes when they do not keep to the rules and a senior student is correcting them or tells them to kneel down, it is bullying to them. We have had to come to the General Assembly, Students' Assembly, to tell them what bullying is and what bullying is not. It's not when you disobey rules and you are corrected, it becomes bullying. So please, like Charles mentioned, we need to educate our children so that they know what should be rules. It is in schools that they get a lot of socialization and they get also a lot of training of how to manage themselves. Timing, and being in class at the regular times. Sometimes they'll be lazing about when they should be at the refectory. Some of them will still be in the classes wanting to pack their books. If they are reprimanded, they will say it is bullying. So bullying does not happen in lodges. As far as this administration is concerned, we don't condone it, even the least of it. And students who have attempted to go beyond what should be the norms, we had reprimanded and even disciplined them. On the area of hygiene, lodges is a very well-kept environment by the grace of God. But I want to inform you that the house that some students put lodges under serious pressure. You see where a student will come into the toilet, will use the buckets that are used for fetching water to clean up the place, poo inside of the places, poo on the floor, and do a lot of messy things. And they will use their mouth to say their parents are paying for those things, that the cleaner should clean it. These are putting the pressure on the people. And some of the things we see, we don't report to the parents. And when you talk about some of them, you find that a good majority, a good number, let me not say majority, a good number of the students, including SS2, SS3 students, urinate, they bedwet. And this messes up the environment. Our hostel masters, you may be expecting them to take your course, but they may be at that point washing a bed sheet that is messed up, or clothes of these students, because some of them cannot actually wash their clothes. The parents know what we are talking about. Mosquito bites. Talking about mosquito bites, every student is expected to come back with mosquito nets. And if they sleep under the nets, they wouldn't get mosquito bites. Before they came in, we fumigated the compound. And we still have plan of doing another fumigation, which is not healthy. Before they come back, we are going to fumigate again. As for the rats, Mr. Chikwado told us what happens. These students smuggle in food items, leftover food, biscuits, and put them in their pockets and under their beds. These things attract rats to them. And this happens more with the boys. You will not have such incidents of such rats with the girls because they are more disciplined. Now, we have, before they left for this midterm break, I have already signed an amount for pesticides and rat poison. Now that they are not around, we are going to throw rat poison everywhere to make sure we exterminate the rats. And of course, I have said we are going to fumigate the compound before the compound. All these things have been put into the budget. So we want to ask that you tell your students to stop smuggling, your children to stop smuggling leftover foods and putting biscuits in their pockets as they sleep. Then we are sorry, we want to say that we are sorry about the delays in the uniforms. Because of the gap we had, there was a little bit of a gap in this management coming in. A lot of things were not put in place when they should have been. We apologize for that. But we are doing everything within our reach to ensure that every child receives their uniform and their items. As for the course, it must interest every one of us. If you have been to lodges, that it's not easy for you to actually make calls. In fact, I'm flowing more because I'm not within the compound. If I was to be in the compound, it's a problematic thing. The network is usually bad. And our hostel masters are usually very, very busy. The officers are very busy. Sometimes when you want them to be pinned 2 hours taking calls and making calls for your children, and yet they are demanded in one place or the other, attending to the same children that belong to you. I want to say, please, you have to bear with us. It's not usually easy. We know that we had paucity of phones. We want to provide two phones for each class in the boys' hostel. I will have just signed the money for those phones to be purchased by the time, and both phones and SIM cards. Before we return, those phones should be active. But please, we want you to note that the principal is always available. Other staff are available to take your course. And when you want to make inquiries about your students, your children, we will give you every information you need. I've had need to even make some calls for some of the desperate wants. Please, we are ready to serve. And we love it that you are pointing out these things. We are going to work together to give you a lodges you'll be proud of. God bless you.
Thank you very much for that detailed response, our principal. We are ready to serve, to attend to your children. Please, our time is fast spent, but we will still allow the chairman for his parting comments. After that, one of the parents will give a vote of thanks and we'll call it a night. Actually, we have spent 15 minutes extra. Apologies for that. But what begins well should end better. Chairman, sir, your closing remarks and the vote of thanks by one of the parents. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, moderator, and thank you, everyone. I think it's been a very wonderful meeting. The essence of the meeting is for us to join hands to build. And I want to thank the parents for these things they pointed out. Though the principal has responded to them, my own is just to add that no matter what we have done already, we will do more by the grace of God. We will buckle up to do more and give you better results. Even as I'm having this meeting, my little boy is by my side who is in JS 2, and he informed me that, in fact, I'm treating him malaria. We started today, and he told me that the hygiene, the monitoring team, the team that inspection team, yeah, they told them to always remove their nets in the morning and then put it back in the evening. That may have been to, allow for better circulation of air and tidiness, cleanness of the hostel. So, but children being children, some of them felt it was too much labor to hang the net in the night, remove it in the morning, hang it again in the night. So he told me that many of them just put their nets inside their boxes and we're not using it. So it's good. We've taken note of that, and we're going to ensure that those nets are hung and are being used by the students. We are the people that insisted that every student must come with a mosquito net. Yeah, principal has responded to most of the matters, and I don't need to repeat them again. The issue of bullying, like the principal said, we are doing everything. When children gather together, even in the family, once you have 3 of them, 4 of them, you sometimes they have one misunderstanding or the other. But as for doing everything we can to make sure that every child feels free and feels happy, our vision is to build lodges into a family where the senior ones take care of the junior ones respect the senior ones. And that's what we are working on. But, when children are 3, 4, 5, 6, and not to talk of hundreds, you can always find little altercations here and there. But we are working seriously on that. And now that you have pointed out some things, we are going to double efforts. We are going to look more into how foods are shared to make sure everybody gets his share. So I just want to express my happiness for this meeting and to tell us, on the platform, let's join hands and try to move on that. There are others that like to come to platform to quarrel and abuse rather than coming to such a meeting to present their matters and contribute. Management is not spirit. Management is not God. We are human beings. With our help and suggestions, we will work together to make our children what we all dream that they should be. So I want to thank everyone that attended. God bless all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman, for that succinct response or explanation that further buttressed the issue of the net and all that. Ugochi Njoku say, please, can I have the principal's phone number? We will do that, but not here at the end. You reach out to us. Benons 123. That's Raymond. Children must and will remain children. These are some text messages we received. On this note, Abako, we are not neglecting your hand, but we are sorry that we may not take that comment again because our time is fast spent. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, our amiable parents and guardians, the board members that are here present, executive members of PTA, and parents and guardians that attended this meeting. On this note, I want to say very thank you as I call on Oba Dennis to give a vote of thanks. As a parent, I believe Oba Dennis is a parent. Give a vote of thanks. As you do that, then maybe anybody can give us a closing prayer, so as we call it a day or a night rather. Oba Dennis, if you are there, a vote of thanks. Less than a minute, please.
We want to appreciate the management, board, and the fellow parents and alumni members for such a laudable meeting. And we want to trust as the children are with us during this 1 week, we will do our bits and trust that the management are like they are promised, will also do their bits. And in all, we commit us all in God's hands. Trust that God will, as we partner with the school partners with us, God helping us, we all will achieve our aim of getting Christian students who are excellent in all their endeavors. Once again, we appreciate you all for bringing up this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Once again, I call on Charles, thank God, one of the alumni. Of course, we recognize your presence and your coming. Please, can you give us a closing prayers? Please, Abako, we didn't neglect you, but time is not on our side. You can put whatever suggestion or comments on the text. We can read it and go along. Charles, please, closing prayer. Short one.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Father in heaven, I want to thank you for the success of this meeting. I want to thank you for the parents. I want to thank you for the management. I want to thank you for we ex-logy students. Eternal Rock of Ages, one thing I pray this evening is that you make us to continue with the right things as parents, as management to do in order to push lodges to the next level in Jesus' name. I ask and pray this day that lodges will not fail, the vision of lodges will not fail, the students of lodges will always benefit from the goodies that lodges has always presented us with, and we are all going to rock the world with the goodies in Jesus' name. We cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus. And we cover the students that are home, the students that are at home, we cover them with the blood of Jesus. They're also going to return from the meet and break. We ask and pray that as you have also always done it, they will all return back without any problem in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you for answering prayers. In Jesus' most mighty name we pray. Amen.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say once again, thank you for your time, for your treasure, for your contribution. I remain one of you, Dr. Nelson Nkwo. It's a good night from this end. And bye.
Good night too.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson, for a great job. Thank you. Bye-bye to everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You too.
Good night, Mommy.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you,
Good job
sir.
for us.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Nelson.
Presido.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good night,
Thank
sir.
you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you, sirs.
Okay, good night all. God bless every one of us.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, oh.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, sir. God bless you, sir.
Bless you. Thank you.
Father,
Have a good night, sir.
good night, Joe.
God bless you, sir.
See you.
Say, Kedru, I greet you. I've not heard your voice. I know you are there.
Wadowski.
I greet you.
Yeah.
Sir Cliff, what's up?
Yeah. Thank you.
God bless you.
Comrade Dino, I can see you.
Sir, comrade, let them go. What on? I greet you, sir.
Sir Prayer Boy.
Sir Michael Kedru, we greet you. I salute.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, but there was a diversion. They diverted from the agenda of the meeting.